In this updated tutorial in CyberLink PowerDirector, we'd like to show you how you can make it look as though the camera is moving through a text into a video as an introduction to a scene. So what we'd like to do is show you a quick example, and then we'll show you some techniques you can use in doing this. First thing we're going to do is take our video, and I've already done that, and place it on track number 2. I'm not using track 1, and you'll see why in a minute. And if I click on it and we play it, you're seeing it's basically an aerial shot of a canyon bridge. So what I'd like to do is start out not with this shot, but with words about where we are, and then move through the words into the shot. So what I need to do is click on my video, and then click on the Tools button above the timeline. I'm going to choose Mask Designer. Now let's create a brand new mask. We're going to use text, so I'm going to click on the second button from the left, which is a custom mask from text and images. I'll create that. It starts out with my generic My Title. I'm going to just simply call this Canyon, and then I'm going to press the Enter key, and in the next row I'm going to put Visit. But I want Visit to be smaller, so I'm going to highlight that. We'll shrink the text down. We'll center the second line. I'll actually take the first line then and highlight it. And I'm going to change the font of that to Impact. And then we'll make the first line even bigger, and we'll make sure that's centered as well. Let's change the spacing on the first line. I'll highlight that. We'll go to a negative number. That will tighten up the distance between the word canyon and the word visit. That looks better. So this is my text. I want to click on my tools. I'm going to horizontal center, and I'll vertical center. Those items were off the screen, but you get to them by clicking on the box in the lower right. So here is my text. And I think I'm going to even make it larger by expanding it. Click on OK. So here I have the text that we're going to see when we start to see our scene. And if we just play it without any changes, this is what it will look like. We have the video going on, we have a black area around the text, and that's all we have. So let's see if we can change this a little bit. We're going to keyframe it to start with. So the first thing I want to do is make sure I'm at the leftmost position. I'll set a keyframe on my mask for position and scale and opacity. Then I'm going to move over, let's say 2 seconds. Put that in the time code, press enter, that moves it automatically. I'll make sure we have the same 3 values by clicking a diamond, setting a keyframe. And then we'll go in, let's say, to the 3-second mark. And now we're going to change it. So what I want to do is I want to explode the mask of the text and keep the image the same. So I'm going to use my minus zoom out tool in the upper right corner to make the picture much smaller, about as small as I can go. And then we'll expand this as large as it will allow me to go. And I don't have to keep it centered. I want as much clarity as I can. And then I'm also going to set here an opacity value. Then I'm going to move over 1 frame. I can press the period key to move over, or click on the icon below the toolbar. Then I'm going to change the opacity value of the mask to 0, so it will disappear. But it'll happen so fast it's going to look like it just keeps expanding because I can't get it as big as I'd like. So then I'm going to click on OK at the bottom. We have a couple more steps to go, but let's see what we've got so far. When we play this, we have Canyon Visit, and then the text explodes out and disappears, and then you get the full shot without the lettering around it. Now I put it on track 2 for a reason, because there's other things we can do. We don't have to start out with this black around the Canyon Visit. Let's assume we want something else. I'm going to click on the little blue arrow on the left side when I'm in my media room. and I'll click on color boards. I'll choose a gradient color, and let's take this one here, and I'm going to put that on track number 1 and lengthen it to the same time duration as my video. But you notice what I have here is now I have a different background for my canyon visit. So I don't have to settle for what I normally would see. Now that's not a bad background, but if I want to change it, I can highlight that and click on change color. And here again I can add more stops. I can change the color. Maybe I don't want to start with a pink. I'll click on here. Let's start with maybe a slightly darker color there. Click on OK. I can modify this any way I want to make it look any way I like. So we can do a lot of modifications on the color. But that means you don't simply have to start out with a black. I think this is a lot more creative. And so if I play this one, we have the same effect, a little easier on the eyes, and then we get right into our scene. So that's basically a way in which you can use this tool along with a color board to modify an opening effect, exploding from lettering into your scene in CyberLink PowerDirector.